thing that all of my clients and students have in common that have really gotten them continued ROI from their organic PR is that they leverage social media. I know it sounds really simple and um, kind of obvious, but what I mean by social media is that they're not just spending hours on reels and doing things kind of in a way that's not working smarter but harder. What I mean is they use PR as their main strategy, but they also supplement with social media, and they use social media to be able to connect with journalists. Remember, it's a long-term relationship that you're building. Even if you can get on the journalist radar and prove to them that you are a reliable source, there's no limit to the amount of places that you can be featured. A journalist is probably going to go back to you time and time again because now you've gotten in with them and they know that you are a credible source, right? So that's really what social media allows you to do. It allows you to follow up, it allows you to turn on your notifications on Twitter or LinkedIn so that when that coveted journalist who writes for that dream publication publishes something, you'll be able to go in and comment and nurture. Kind of like you would do in sales, right? You would have leads. It's all about increasing the number of touch points. And journalists love to know that the people who are pitching them are not only doing it in a self-serving way, but that they actually care about the writing that they're doing, because that's what journalists do. They are writers, they cover stories, they share real life insights, right? So that's what I mean by using social media. I'll give you an example as well for another way you can leverage social media. In my PR starter pack, I teach about how you can optimize your LinkedIn to get noticed by editors, because a lot of editors and writers also post on LinkedIn, and it's a great follow-up way to connect with them in the DMs. And there's a proper way to do that. I teach that in my PR starter pack. But first step is to optimize your LinkedIn so that you can get noticed, not only by your peers, but by journalists, right? And I have a whole training on that in the PR starter pack. And I'll give you an example. Dr. Noor, she is a first generation Bangladeshi American healthcare insurance consultant. And she is also a mom wearing all the hats. And she was able to use LinkedIn, taking the steps that she learned from the PR starter pack. And she went from not having any traction on LinkedIn, having maybe a couple hundred followers, and not really growing her LinkedIn, to having her post go viral the next day. She did a very simple poll, and she was able to leverage all of the LinkedIn tools in order to get the algorithm to get her post to be visible by so many people. And so even to this day, she was able to recount that her PR efforts started by this one simple thing, which is optimizing your LinkedIn profile, getting more visible, getting the algorithms to like you. And so that way you can appear in more people's feeds, right? She was able to then take her really optimized LinkedIn, which really put her best foot forward, to then connect with journalists. Anyone that sends you an email or an inbox in the DMs, I know that you look at their profile first, right? So nothing says that you're a credible industry authority, that you have something of value to say, than an optimized social media profile. So that's what I mean by leveraging social media.